Total alternative. Ouch. Okay. I'll take this. What are you looking at?
Alarm!
No.
Alarm!
There's a scroll. Another one. Another one. Okay, let's see what they have here.
What with? Hey, you! You're a fisherman?
Now, how did you ever guess that? Can't you simply leave me alone? Don't take it personally, but I haven't been too happy lately. It's that militia.
Trouble with the militia?
Those bastards keep coming here and taking whatever they want. Last week, they made off with my entire catch. It's for a good cause, they said. I know that everybody's got to fend for himself since the farmers have stopped trading. And of course, sometimes people just go hungry. Small wonder that they're snatching the fish from right under my nose. But if they keep doing this, I won't even have enough to feed myself.
Have you talked to the paladins about this?
Are you joking? Do you really think they'd be interested if a poor devil like me has his problems with the militia?
Maybe I can help you.
I don't know. I suppose you'd have to know somebody from the militia who has connections to the paladins. The paladins will hardly buy the fish from me.
I shall see what I can do. So, how are the fish biting?
I've seen better times. Too little to live on, too much to die.
Fair enough. Alright, they're trading.
Hey, you have no business up here. Only paladins and those of us in the militia have access here.
What's up here then?
This is the provisions store of the Royal Guard of the Paladins. I am the provisions master here, and I'm responsible for seeing to it that none of the paladin stuff goes astray, and you're not wanted here. So keep your hands to yourself or I'll chop them off.
Can you sell me any of the paladin stuff?
You want to buy? Let's say that if you could compensate me for the trouble that will arise from the paladins' things wandering off, then we might be able to do business.
Does that happen often? Things going astray?
As long as the provisions master says that everything is right, no.
I see.
I like this.
Farum the fisherman has problems with the militia. The boys are constantly stealing from him.
And what do I have to do with it?
You have a certain amount of influence up here with the paladins. Farum needs your protection. He's willing to give you a part of his catch for it.
I see what you mean. Fish. As if I didn't have enough crap to deal with. Tell your pal he should come to me and tell me exactly what's up with the militia. I'll take care of it.
Not bad.
What do you have to offer?
Then pay attention.
So do you have Master Sword, 120 damage, 60 dexterity, Giant Machete, 100 strength, 110. Those are powerful weapons. Fine long sword. This malicious short sword. 20 damage. How sharp is it? That's the question. holy arrow. It's against undead. Maybe later. Alright, where is the guy? He must be still there, right?
Hey! I know how to resolve your trouble with the militia.
And how would that be?
Martin, the provisions master of the paladins, wants to hear your story about the militia and the fish.
And you think he can make the militia leave me alone?
At least that's what he said.
Great, thank you. I cannot give you much, but wait. I found this strange blue stone on one of the islands off the coast of Corinthus. I don't think it's worth a whole lot, but someone like you will certainly find a use for it.
Not bad. Alright. Let's explore the town.
That was no big deal.
I wouldn't be so sure.
It was his decision, wasn't it? The path of virtue.
I agree with you completely. I already thought
I've got no time for things like that.
Looks like a trader.
it's a bad business.
Hey, do you need fish? Get your fish here, fresh from the depths of the sea.
That's all just gossip.
Show me your fish.
General.
Things I can
Okay.
tell you.
Nothing special.
It's really not my problem.
And there's more, believe me.
I'm no better off myself.
Everybody knows by now. These are bad times. I won't tell her a thing from now on. These are bad times.
You look familiar.
Really,
I must be
won't you?
crazy. What are you doing here? Did you swim here? That's one way to get past the guards at the city
Now
gate.
That's typical, isn't it?
Not quite, you know. I have clients here.
Hey, Larish, you old scoundrel, how did you get here?
I was able to escape to the Valley of Mines just in time, together with Lee and some of the other boys. You remember Lee, don't you?
Of course I remember Lee.
I got out of the colony with him then, just after the barrier was destroyed. He and his boys are now on the farm of Onar, the landowner. He made a deal with the farmer. He and his boys defend the farm, and Onar feeds them in return.
Can you teach me something?
Sure. I can help you become stronger and more dexterous if you like.
Interesting. Okay.
Tell me more about Lee and his mercenaries.
What do you want to know?
Tell me more about the mercenaries.
Well, if you're as tough as you were back then, you shouldn't have any problems with them. Most of them are ruffians, and if you can't stand up to them, you won't get far. If you're squeamish, you don't have a chance of joining them.
Why aren't you with Lee and his mercenaries?
But I am, just not on the farm. You could say I'm our outpost in the city. We don't want the ship to sail without us.
Okay.
What ship were you talking about?
It's on the open sea harbor, behind the cliffs. Lee and a few of his people really want to get away from here, but that could take a while.
Why?
You'd better ask Lee about that. If you meet him, he's got plans.
Well, that's interesting. I guess he could bring me there, but not right now.
I must talk to the paladins by any means.
What do you want from them?
They've got a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos. I must have it.
And you think they'll give it to you? You'll never get into the upper end of town.
I'll find a way somehow.
Sure. If you want to ingratiate yourself with the citizens or play errand boy for the militia.
Do you know why the paladins are here?
Nobody knows for sure. Lots of people think it's because of the orcs, but I think there's another reason. It probably has something to do with the old penal colony.
Okay.
Ahoy, you landlubber. Looks like you're stranded here. You look a bit pale around the gills. Never mind, my lad. All you need is a good stiff sea breeze.
What are you doing here?
Back when I was a young man, I went to sea and rode through many a big storm.
What happened to the dialogue? I settled here and took care of the Koreans.
No big deal, not at all. But that old tower came closest to what I call a home. I haven't been up there in ages.
Why not?
Ever since these scallywags took over my lighthouse, I haven't dared get closer to it than 20 feet. Really bad rabble, that. They're criminals from the Valley of Mind, you know. There was this big bang on the other side of the mountains, and they swarmed all over the land like flies. Now they're hiding out everywhere, even in my lighthouse. I think they're on the lookout for any ship they can raid. Ah, let them. Then at least they'd be out of my tower.
Do you come to town often?
I always say a town is only as good as its harbor. A harbor is the gate to the world. That's where everyone meets and where everything starts. Once the harbor goes to the dogs, the rest of the city will follow soon.
Fair enough.
Tell me about the harbor.
The harbor of Corinthus isn't what it used to be. There's nothing but riffraff hanging about. The ships don't come anymore, and trade is dead. This harbor's about to go under.
So why don't you leave?
Nobody would take an old sea dog like me on his ship these days. Most people think that old Jack's got the gout in his rotten old bones.
And? Are they right?
Balderdash. Once I've got those planks beneath me feet again, I'll feel like a young whippersnapper.
What do you mean by riffraff?
Look at them, the lazy rabble. Most of them don't even know what work is. All they do is drink all day and spend their last pay at the brothel. I tell you, stay away from them.
Why are the ships no longer coming?
They all say that once the war is over, everything will be like it used to be. That's a load of bilge water. I tell you, a sailor can see when a town's going downhill. A sailor feels that in his blood. And I can tell you, forget about this harbor. Its heyday's over.
Okay.
He never would have thought of that himself. As if I didn't have enough problems. Will it ever change? Nothing surprising.
What are you doing here?
My name is Brahim. I draw maps and sell them. Since you're new here, maybe you could use a map of the city? It's quite affordable, and very useful until you know your way around.
It's totally obvious.
Show me your maps.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Land map of Corinius and city map. Not right
Come
now.
back again later. I'm sure to have something new for you then.
You don't have to ask me that.
Hey! What are you doing here?
I'm building a ship because I want to get out of here as fast as I can. But the way it looks right now, this ship will never be finished.